What's up, everybody? Welcome to Jrichfits Lifestyle and Health Coaching Corner. This is episode 15. The topic of the day is investing in people versus investing in products. To me, I feel like in companies, in sports organizations, in just everyday movement, the best thing to do is invest in a person, not in their position or product. So what I mean by that is positions flip flop all the time. One day somebody's sweeping floors, the next day they're the manager, the next day they own the company. You should always treat the kid sweeping the floor as the same way you treat the person that owns the company, because it's more about the personal connection and less about what somebody could provide you at the moment. If you invest in people, all that falls into place, because at the end of the day, we all breathe the same, we all bleed the same, we all shit the same. So why position yourself higher than somebody else? Why act like you're better than somebody else? Because you're never better than anybody else. I always tell people, don't ever be better than a penny. Don't ever be better than the last drop of water. Don't ever be better than the person below you. Because at the end of the day, you never know when you might need that last penny. You need that last drop of water. Need that person that's below you at the moment, because one day they can be above you. Or you can be in a position where you get knocked down and you need help. And those people will always remember how you treated them. I think that's always a big thing with me. People always ask me, "Oh man, you always act the same," like around the owner, around the kids sweeping the floors, and it's like, well, yeah, who the fuck am I? Why should I act any different around you? Because I don't expect you to act any different around me. So I think that's a big thing. Don't get lost in the bullshit. Treat everybody the way that you'd want to be treated. As corny as that is, it's the truth. Go into every situation with a positive mindset, but also go into every situation like you're even with everybody. It could be, there's 18-year-olds that sometimes work at the job I used to work at, and I walk in there, I'll talk to them, and I'll give them advice the same way I would give a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old. It doesn't matter to me. If we're having a conversation, I will constantly always have those same conversations with the same people and not ever judge somebody or think that I'm better than them. Why do shitty companies invest in job title slash products over people? I think shitty companies do it because of fear. So it takes a long time to invest in somebody, to have the energy to get to know them, have the energy to understand their background, have the energy to understand where they want to be. And I think a lot of shitty companies bypass that, thinking that you're just another person, you're just another position, we can find another one. But the product or the job title is so much more than what you are. Those are usually unsuccessful companies because they're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. If you invest in a human being who runs, at the end of the day, AI isn't here yet in the sense of them just running everything and people just being mindless. Uh, Flesh is moving around, pieces of meat just moving. People run this world, and I don't understand when companies start believing that they're not as important than job title, than product. They're the ones that get the product pushing. They're the ones that are consuming the product, buying the product, doing all that type of stuff. So don't ever forget that, yeah, you're selling to people, but don't forget the person that needs to be there to help you sell that product. I think that's a huge problem that we're having nowadays. And I see it all the time. I just seen it in the company I left. I see it in the companies that I work for. I see it all day, every day, is we bypass people and we play with them when it comes to shortening their pay, shortening their hours, promising them things that you know that you won't be able to deliver to them. And what that does is it creates a bad taste in their mouth and makes them want to leave the company and look for different things. You as a company, you as an owner, should want your place to be the best place possible. There should never be a better place to go to because I provide everything that you need. And in turn, you give me 100% of your effort and we have a great company. Most companies don't believe in this. And that's why this question of shitty companies investing in job titles slash products, is it's a safe thing. It's so easy to, oh, you're the manager, you're the head boss, nobody's above you, and it creates balance for weak-minded people. If you're an owner and you don't know how to talk to people, you put one person in charge right below you and you make them the scapegoat. You turn them into the thing, like everybody blames that person. Everybody has to talk to that person. Even though it's really you behind the scenes playing puppet master, you're so cowardly and so scared to actually interact that you just hire people to be the whipping boys. And there's no round table. Everybody likes that triangle table where it's point, point, point. You should make every company that you're in feel like a round table where the boy sweeping the broom has the same input as a manager. Might not have the same, what's it called? Might not have the same execution because at the end of the day, your information and what you bring to the table will go to a general source, which is the manager, and then they'll make the final decision. But it just feels good to have that round table and feel like you're a part of something because there's nothing worse than working for a company that you feel like you're not a part of at all, where they don't know your name or they don't give a fuck about what goals you have or anything like that. And those little things matter. If I work for a company and I know that they know about me, they know about the goals that I want to step forward in, and they want to help me get there, understanding that these are just jobs and this isn't your career. I mean, if you want it to be your career, they can help you in that path. But if you don't want it to be your career, they should be happy for you and find any way possible to help you go towards your career because they understand once you leave, we'll get somebody else. We'll figure out if they want to go this way or that way, and then we're going to help them. Instead of just having people sit there and be stagnant and hate their job, you as the owner, you as the manager, you as the company head should dive in deep in these people, figure out what they're into, and help guide them because you're a teacher. When they come into these doors, you're in a position of power the same way a teacher would be. And shitty teachers just sit there, collect the homework, grade, throw it away, give it back to you with a little bit of information, and they don't help. Real good teachers, real good managers, real good owners, they take 2 steps forward. For every step that they feel like you're taking back, they're going to keep taking 2 steps forward until they grab you and be like, hey, let's sit down. Let's figure this out. What do you like to do? And those are people that really affect your life in a positive way. And if you're not somebody that's doing that, either A, start doing that, or B, get rid of your position because you shouldn't be in that position. You're not somebody that's qualified to be a manager, to be an owner, to be a head above somebody for guidance. So I don't think that you should relinquish those fucking positions, you selfish piece of shit, because you're just doing it for the money. Why do successful companies invest in people over product? Because they understand that people are the ones that get the ball moving. People are the ones that build, I mean, pyramids, skyscrapers, all that stuff. I have yet to see computers build these things. It's always people. And you need to start treating these people fairly. You need to start really diving in and caring about what they do. I mean, if you look at successful tech companies nowadays, tech is the big thing, compared to successful or unsuccessful tech companies. Successful ones take care of their people. There's this thing out there that is insane to me. But hey, whatever. I mean, everything's got different stuff. But they have this thing called limited PTO. And most tech companies have it, where they could leave at any time, take a vacation, whole week, get paid for it. As long as you get your work done. See, that's the vice versa behind it. I will take care of you as long as you get done what I need you to get done, which is a fair statement. I need this done, you get this done, you're good. If you're scheduled to work a 40-hour week and you get that 40 hours of work done in 20, take the other 20 off, I'm happy. Those are successful companies. Unsuccessful companies that I can't stand are like, here's 40, I want you to do all 40, and if you get those done, here's an extra 10 that I'm not going to pay you for. Those are shitty companies. Those are companies that don't care about you. So good companies do the complete opposite. They will reward you for the hard work that you put in, and they will appreciate what you do. And it just shows, man, when you see these companies that are really taking care of you, that are really caring, they don't care about money because they understand the game. So it works like this. I never care about having my skills. Like the saying is, if you have a skill or if you're good at something, don't ever do it for free. I completely believe in that. But if you do have a skill or you're good at something, don't do it just for money. Just do it, and money will follow. That's how it always works. If you're great at something, if you're good at something, people will notice what you do, and the money will be there. But the second you start trying to rush to get the money, money's gonna be gone. That's just like anything. If there's a girl you like out there, there's a guy you like out there, and you play the slow approach, and it's constantly, hey, how you doing? Most likely, you guys will at least go on a date. If you do the fast approach, it never works. In money, in relationships, nothing fast ever either stays or is worth having to begin with. So these companies that are doing it right when it comes to investing in people, they understand the slow approach. They understand like the long game where I need to invest, I need to understand, I need to see where this person's coming from, and then I need to put them in the best position possible for them to be successful and for me to be successful. Stupid companies rush, don't do any of that, don't listen to the person, and just put you in a position. Now you're playing pickup because you're trying to figure out what to do, and they just take off. And now it's just you figuring it out for yourself. When in the beginning you're like, hey, listen, this isn't my skill. This is what I'm good at. You really don't know me. Help me make your company better. But they don't do that. They just see what you're not doing because they put you in a bad position and they think that you're just not a good worker and they throw you to the wayside. Shitty teams do it. Shitty companies do it. And the good companies do the complete opposite. If you look at, I hate them so much. But if you look at the Patriots, they do everything meticulously compared to if you look at like the Cleveland Browns or some other shitty ass team. But the Patriots break every single thing down. Do they have the best athletes on the planet? By no means do they have the best athletes on the planet, but they know what each individual athlete is good at, and they utilize and strengthen that and then turn it on the other team. So it's like, take notes. Things are out there, but people are so ignorant, closed-minded to compare them. Everything's relative. Everything's relevant. Uh, a really good football team that's very successful, you could take that and look at your company and be like, well, what do they do that I could do? Because success, like I said, is very relative, and it's not this broad thing that we all look at. It's actually a little bit more refined. We're just too stupid or too ignorant to pay attention to them. Every sign is out there, and everything is very much so the same. So don't think that your situation or your company is different than something else. And if you need a simple reference point, look at the New England Patriots. Dive in, see what they do, and steal from that. Because they steal from everybody else because they're filming all these fucking plays anyway, so fuck them. But steal what they do and try to figure out a way to apply it to the people that you're around or the company that you manage or the company even that you work for. You can be a lower position, bring this to the table, and just because they're above you doesn't mean you can't change them either. Just because they're in a job title or just because they're in a higher position than you doesn't mean that you can't bring your information to the table and change the dynamic or change the viewpoint. And then let's just go into me personally. How do I feel? I feel like investing in people is the greatest thing you can possibly do. I talk, I act, and I am the same. I don't flim flam for anybody. I don't whiffle waffle for anybody. If I want to say fuck, I can give a fuck who stand right there. I mean, if my mom's there, I'm going to kind of be a little more respectful, but I'm going to say it in a funny way. But I don't change for anybody. And if you are somebody that appreciates the way I am, then you'll invest in me when it comes to friendships and when it comes to job positions and stuff like that. But I'm not going to flip flop. Just because there's a job position out there, just because there's money out there, I'm not going to sacrifice who I am to go get that. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to enjoy that money anyways because you're going to die from either stress, you're going to die from high blood pressure, you're going to die from something because you don't feel right Me living this way, I feel amazing every day. I wake up, I feel good. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want because somebody's opinion doesn't matter to me, and a job position doesn't matter to me. I never allow a job to hold all my money anyways. So if something does go wrong, that's a fraction of the money I make. So it doesn't sway me anyway, because that's what ends up happening is you invest in these companies so much, or you invest in this bullshit so much that they get a hold of all the money you make, and they pull and sway you to go places that you don't want to go. So for me, when I go into situations, there's a company that I used to work for. I would talk to and treat every single human being the same way. If you're cool, we'll talk and we'll like each other and you'll be cool, I'll be cool. You could be 18, you could be 50, you could be 45, whatever. Like you could be any age that you want to be, but I'll talk to you exactly the same, no matter how old I get. It's just how I approach things. And I would always hear the constant thing, "Hey man, you're hella cool. Like, I mean, you act younger than you really are." And I appreciate how you talk because I don't feel like I'm being talked down to. The main reason why I do that is because I never want to be talked down to. So I just throw out what I want to get back. And I think in life, a lot of people forget that. You only get back what you're putting out there. And I can give a shit what position you have. I can give a shit how much money you have. Anything. None of that matters because I invest in a person. And whatever that person is what I want to invest in. I don't care about the things you have because one day I don't think that if I laugh at enough of your jokes or if I'm that big of an ass kisser, you're gonna shit $1 million and then be like, "Hey Jake, thanks for all the laughs and thanks for kissing my ass so much. Here's $1 million." It doesn't work that way. The only thing that you'll be left with is, like I said before, that dick and balls taste in your mouth or that fucking shit smell on your nose because that's all you're doing is kissing ass. So live the way you want to live and do what you feel like doing and don't allow people to sway you. And just realize that investing in people is the best thing because, like I said, people grow, jobs switch. You'll never know when there's a time you might need a job and there was somebody that you're cool with back in the day that was sweeping the floor and now he's in a position he was like, "Oh man, you're the man. I'll give you this job." Or it could flip flop where you were an asshole to this person pushing brooms and they remember that and they're like, "Oh, never mind, man. Go find another job somewhere else because I don't even like working with you." So always kind of be in that position. And then, like I was saying before, uh, great companies that want a part of an individual's greatness. So that's why I always think too. I think that companies see what you have, like good companies, and they just want to be a part of that. They understand that it's going to be for a short-lived time. It's never longevity. I think anything is like that. When you see something that you're really into, understand that short-lived and understand that you just enjoy the moment. Like if you look at the NBA, LeBron James is the biggest name in basketball. He's played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, played for the Cavs again. Now he plays for the Lakers. These companies that he works for, because at the end of the day, he does work for them, they understand the revenue that he brings in, the championships he can possibly bring in, and the players that he brings in. So he is almost as strong or stronger than the company and the name. They just want a piece of that. That's called a great company right there, where they see what you're good at and they're like, "Hey, listen, we just want a little piece of this. We're gonna 50-50 this. We're gonna even it out. And we're gonna have a great time. Understanding that it's not gonna last forever, but for the time now, let's have a good one." When he was on the Cavs were the best team. Or they were always on TV. When he was on the Heat, he was the best team. They were always on TV. When he's now on the Lakers, now the Lakers are everywhere. And he just brings that and just realizes as a company, there are individuals out there that will bring more to your company than you will bring them. And when you get individuals like this, you have to take care of them because if you don't take care of them, they can easily go somewhere else. And all that potential that you could have had now goes that way. So always pay attention to that. I mean, Apple with Steve Jobs and the legacy that he created, even though in a lot of books and a lot of stories he's a big asshole, He was a successful big asshole. And companies will maneuver and flip flop for that. If you are skilled, but you're a dick, they will massage your shoulders until you don't have the skill anymore. And then when you don't have the skill anymore, they will boot your ass as hard as they possibly can. But for the time being, you guys will appreciate each other's skills. You will make money. You'll be successful. But don't expect to own any part of that team. Don't expect to own any part of that company, or don't expect them to really mourn for you or sing fucking songs when you pass away. They might sing songs of cheer when you pass away, but that's another example. Then let's get into story time. Oh, see, that's what I like to do now. I like to talk about all this type of stuff, but put stories in. So I used to work for this company, and I was super excited because now was my opportunity to run what I felt like I wanted to run and do what I felt like I wanted to do. In the beginning, I felt that way. Towards the end, the light started showing, and it was not so much that was going to happen. But it was a company that invested heavy into position and product and not in people. And the funniest part behind that is there weren't even a lot of people that worked there. There might have been 5 people at the time, but they were building the structure of job title and position, and the boss is always right, and whatever he wants to do is what happens. And it just created this shitty environment. It made the job suck. It made you just feel like you don't want to be there, and you're not part of. You're not. It made you feel like you're not a part of something. And there's only 5 people that work there. I can understand if there's 100 people that work there, and you're being lost between the fucking sheets or whatever the hell. But if there's 5 people and you feel not a part of it at all, you feel like there's a lot of things that are happening that you aren't even involved with, it shows you the road that this company's gonna have, and it's a bumpy one, and it's a non-successful one. And that was a big thing. You start noticing that they invest more in the tech of the company, or they're investing more in shorts, or they're investing more in like shitty add-ons to the product that me, as somebody that's done it long enough, knew that those weren't going to be smart things to buy. And it creates this bad culture where it becomes a revolving door. And what I noticed even before I left is we had 5 people that worked there, but in the history of the company, we might have had 12 people that worked there. The history of the company was only a couple months old. So that's 7 people that have quit within a couple months span of a company existing. Is that not insane when you hear that? That 7 people get quit in a couple months span, and it just becomes a revolving door. And the higher up didn't understand that people get gassed up and get juiced up where they don't ever think it's them. And that is the worst person to be around, when they can't look at their own flaws and their own faults and realize, oh, this is me. It has nothing to do with production. It has nothing to do with job positioning and where this person works. So it has to do with me. I'm not investing enough of my time in the company itself and the people that work there. Probably couldn't tell me half the things about myself. Like, didn't invest enough time to really even get to understand me and where I come from and how I work. And some companies think that shouldn't matter. I think that those are stupid companies or stupid people, because it should matter. If I go to school every day and my teacher doesn't know my name, and I know all about that teacher, I'm going to be very jaded, or I'm going to be very mad. Or if I play on a sports team and my coach doesn't know my name or doesn't give a fuck about what I'm doing, you're not going to feel a part of the team. So why wouldn't it fall over into your job? If I'm working and the owner doesn't really give a shit about what's going on with me unless it's job related, or doesn't really understand who I am or where I come from, why would I bleed for that person? Why would I push harder for that person? At the end of the day, you wouldn't. If you are doing that, then you need to reevaluate, because you're doing the wrong thing. Don't ever bleed for somebody. Don't ever sweat somebody for somebody. Don't ever exhaust yourself for somebody that wouldn't do the same for you. That's the best thing I can leave you with is that right there. Don't bleed, don't sweat, don't exhaust yourself for somebody that wouldn't do it for you. And that sums up everything that we're talking about today. Me, myself, I invest in people because I know whatever I would have them do, I would do. Whatever I would have them do, I would understand who they were. See in my brain, oh, are they capable of doing it? Okay, if they are, let's do it. If they're not, let me figure out how to make them capable and let me spend time with them and then have them do it. Instead of thinking, oh, they can't do it, get the fuck out of here. Oh, they can't do it. Okay, cool. You gotta invest more. Investing in people is the best possible thing that you could do. And at the end of the day, that's why I want to leave you with. We're already at this 30-minute mark. I appreciate you guys listening. We're happy holidays. The new year is coming. Be positive. If you could change your brain any way going into 2020, invest in people. I swear on everything. Take that step of investing in people in 2020, and life is going to be amazing. So many good things are going to happen for you. So many opportunities will end up opening up for you. If you close yourself off and you don't invest in people, you'll be singular. You'll be by yourself again for another year. And I'm pretty sure that hasn't gotten you anywhere as it is. So open up a little more. Invest in people. Fuck job positions. Fuck titles. Fuck companies. Invest in the person next to you, because that's the person that when you're in hard times is going to push you to have you go forward. With that being said, thank you guys very much. Remember, I'm going into this avenue of life health coaching. If you or somebody you know needs this, get a hold of me. I'm holding 15-minute consultations, but it's not to sell you. It's really just to get a quick breakdown of who you are so you can get a quick breakdown of who I am, see if we mesh and match together, and then we can go further with that. Also, got my company, Jake Shakes. It is that holistic smoothie that you can take in the morning or take at lunch as a meal replacement. It helps get healthy nutrients back in your body, gives you healthy energy so you're not drinking coffee anymore, you're not dealing with all the bullshit. Helps with gut health, flushes all the bad stuff out so your body's not swollen and you don't feel sluggish and slow. If you need that, also get a hold of me. That's what these things are for. I'm trying to press and push that positivity your way. Once again, thank you guys very much. Happy New Year. 2020, I hope, is your year. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.